Burps like thunder, John Payton. Bloody and muddy, a young fuddy-duddy. He's a wonder, John Payton. Well, maybe by now there are at least 100 or so stanzas, many of them true. For there are 1,000 or so John Payton stories. Some almost unbelievable, but yes, true. And every John Payton act and accident has become part of Troop 54's and my personal scouting scrapbook. And I count every one of them with fondness. Even those that began with the dreaded John Payton introductory exclamation, "Mr. Marr, you're not going to believe this." And although I thought I could imagine every possible John Payton scenario, almost every time John Payton went beyond the bounds of even my expansive imagination. "Mr. Marr, you're not going to believe this." "What, John Payton?" "I'm covered in maple syrup." "Mr. Marr, you're not going to believe this." "What, John Payton?" "I'm burying myself in a second truckload of sand." "Mr. Marr, you're not going to believe this." "What, John Payton?" "I got my eagle." John Payton, I not only believe it, but I and your other scout leaders and your fellow scouts expected it. And John Payton, you're not going to believe this, but for many, achieving eagle is a finish line. But for you, it's the beginning of your real race. A race in which you will explore all that you are and all that you can accomplish for others in this world. John Payton, you're not going to believe this, but you haven't run your race yet. There are two perspectives in life. The first reflects the words of the preacher, Koheleth, in Ecclesiastes, who concludes that all of life is meaningless. Living is in vain, seeing that the race is not always to the swift, nor the battle to the strong, nor bread to the wise, nor riches to the intelligent, nor favor to those with knowledge, but time and chance happen to them all. The other perspective, the one before you, as you receive the charge and challenge, and David, I include you in this as well, the charge and the challenge of being Eagle Scouts is perhaps Paul's perspective, who could honestly say to his son in the faith that he had, at the end of his life, run the race set before him. He did not live in vain. He ran, not based on yesterday's honors, not without purpose or aim, but straining and stretching for what was ever ahead of him. What's ahead of both of you? For Paul, the prize for the upward call of God in Christ Jesus. And your eagle, both of you, is the beginning of that race. The Truth and Knowledge stars of the Eagle badge should remind you constantly that your the truth is, there are yet more verses to that song of John